Are you walking around in life thinking, man, what is my purpose? What am I here for? Guys, I have good news for you. If you're a person who's wondered, why am I here? What is my purpose? What does my life do for eternity or to make an impact on this world? I think that purpose is one of the most confusing conversations. People get so in the weeds what their purpose is. They dig for it and hunt for it. And here's the reality of it, guys. Your purpose is right in front of you. It's so close to you, it's probably right in front of your nose because it's not that difficult to determine purpose when you break it down this way. So I'm going to give you 3 clues that are guideposts to indicate what purpose really is, okay? So let's say this. So I always know that I'm on this earth for a unique purpose. Like just through reading the word, through my times in prayer, like I know God has gifted me and he's gifted you with unique giftings, callings, talents and abilities. I am like nobody else on this earth. I don't think like other people do. I have a different fingerprint. I have a different voice. Like I'm uniquely me and you're uniquely you, which makes you special. I tell my kids this every day because they're in life and in school and in friends. So many times we try to be the person that just blends in and be like everybody else, just like do what everyone else does. But the reality of it is what makes you special, what makes you rare, what makes you valuable is your difference. It's not your sameness. It's your uniqueness that gives you value. It's your uniqueness that is an indicator light of your purpose and your intent on this earth and what you're created for. So everyone was created for a purpose and an intent that's special. There's in Psalm 139 in one version it says, I created you for a special work. So just know that you're on this earth, you're created for a special work. Now let's start the hunting. The hunting that people seem to find of like, what is my purpose? What am I called to do? Here's the 3 easy keys. And you'll be like, oh, gotcha. His calling his callings are his enablements, meaning it's what you naturally do. So, number 1, what energizes you? Pay close attention to the activities that leave you feeling fulfilled, alive, and engaged. What what energizes you is your passion is also often points to your purpose. Your passions for things often point to your purpose. So, what excites you? What energizes you? What gives you life, right? The next thing, what comes to you naturally? What comes to you naturally? Your natural gifting and abilities. You might be an athlete. You might be a great decorator. You might be a great cook. You might have amazing leadership skills. There are things that you do well that people compliment you on oftentimes. There are things that make you you that people point out, give you credit, talk to you about, sing praises to you about. Like those things that are occurring naturally are big indicators of purpose, that it's somehow tied to it, right? Things that you would do naturally, meaning you're just on this earth, you enjoy it, you would do it if you're getting paid for it or not. You would do it if someone told you to do it or not, because it's just something you enjoy and you like to do. Okay. So, number 1, what energizes you? You got to pay close attention to that. Number 2, what comes naturally to you? Here's the thing, I'm on this earth for some reason to talk, and it's always been natural for me. I remember my best class in high school, my was speech class, and I would get up there and I would do speeches, extemporaneously, and it was the only class, quite frankly, that I got an A in, that I consistently got A's in, was speech class. So I wasn't as gifted in other areas, but that was one thing that I was able to do. I could talk. So I have used talking as something as a vehicle for my future. Like I'm not the person to sit down and, and math. That's not me. I'm not that scientist. I'm not that engineer. I'm not that detail. I can communicate though. I'm a communicator. That's what I am. So it's a natural gifting, right? So what energizes you? What comes naturally? And then here's also an indicator light and one that's often overlooked. What pains you? What burdens you? What troubles you or deeply moves you? What issues in the world do you think that your presence can solve? Or do you wanna get involved with to solve? There's so many attention grabbers out there, there's so many needs out there, but what is it that literally moves you? I can tell you this, I grew up with a hardworking family, and my grandma, she never owned a garage, guys. She worked till the day she went to heaven, and I would see her out there, I'd spent the night a lot with them, and I would see her out there in the middle of the winter, 5:30 in the morning, out scraping off with her ice scraper, scraping the windows off and warming her car up and working. And I remember sitting there as a high school student and as a junior higher, and maybe even as elementary. I don't know how far back I remember thinking this thought, but I thought at some point in time, I am going to make enough money that I'm going to be able to buy my grandma a house that has an attached garage so that she can not have to do this. And that became a driver for me. It became a driver for me when I looked at women that I saw, you know, doing things, and I thought to myself, and I would think, "Oh, let me help you. I know you're so much more than you think you are. I know there's so much more gifting and talent in you than you think you have." And so that pain of watching lack and limitation, both uh, you know, financially, emotionally, career-wise, fulfillment-wise, literally has been something that I have worked with and have pursued since I was, like, in junior high. Like, I always remember, like, "Hey, I'll do this for you." No matter how old the people were that I was involved with, I was always able to pick up their pain points or their lack or their limitation and say, "Man, you're amazing. You're awesome. You're great." And I've always been geared that direction. So, unfortunately, my grandma, went to heaven about 6 months before I was able to make, buying her a home with an attached garage possible, but it was a driver for me. It was a motivator for me when I got into real estate. That was my goal, and that literally has been a leading thing. When I see women and single moms and young girls, I'm always drawn to just speak life to them, to to lift vision, to show them the possibilities of what their life could look like. To the point that, I just was interviewed and they talked to me about the building that I built and how it came in over budget. And I was trying to decide if I should back up, step away, not do it. What should I do? And my husband and I had a discussion. He's like, Amy, if you don't keep moving forward, I just don't think it's going to be good. You get bored, you thrive in growth mode. And I went, well, actually, everybody thrives in growth mode. It might be painful, it might be stressful, but you are meant to grow. You're meant to abound. You're meant to increase. Your influence is meant to increase. Everything about your life is meant to move forward, progress, and keep moving. Right? We're most alive when we're in growth mode. We might be exhausted, we might be fatigued, we might be worn out, but we're most alive when we're seeing forward movement and growth. Okay? But I go back to this and I'm like, so so determining your purpose on this earth. I have a dear friend of mine that I was on the phone with the other day, and we were talking about her purpose. And she is a phenomenal decorator. Phenomenal decorator. Like she has got an eye when she appears on the scene, the atmosphere changes. She makes average things look amazing. She puts pieces together and arranges furniture in a completely different way than most people do. She can go into any store. It doesn't have to be high end. You don't have to be buying all, the most high end furniture, and she'll put things together and you'll be blown away by it. And such a peace comes to the atmosphere she creates, and such an elevating comes to everything she touches. And I'm like, that's your purpose. It's so tied to it. You're a lifter of people, but you create amazing spaces for people to really just be. And they feel so good. It's like when I get in her spaces, I'm like, oh, it feels so comfortable in here. Like I'm comforted in her spaces. She has a real gift. And I'm like, that's so inclusive of your purpose. Your natural giftings are so inclusive of what you're on this earth to do. So this week, I want you to really focus on what makes me uniquely me, that I just naturally like to do it. If you told me to do it, if you paid me to do it, if you didn't pay me to do it, if you reminded me of it, or if you didn't remind me of it, I would naturally do. What is that thing? Figure that out, okay? Number 2, think about, like, what just wakes you up and excites you. For some people, it's like, "Man, I can't wait to, pull down drywall and put up brand new drywall." For others, they can't wait to, they're landscape artists, and they can't wait to create, and they can't wait to take nothing and make it something. Like, what is it? Your purpose on this earth is your way of seeing things. It's your way of doing things. It's the way you design. Maybe I've got a lot of creatives in my family, and I'm so grateful for them because I think creativity is one of the greatest gifts on earth you can have, right? I think it's amazing. But literally, they see things differently. They do things differently. They'll take something that looks like nothing and make it really, really awesome. But think about that. I don't have to pay them to think about it. They just naturally see that way and they naturally do it. Your purpose is natural. Be naturally you. I'm not saying you're not gonna have to grow on your skill level. I'm not saying you're not gonna have to develop yourself. You will. But what you're naturally bent towards is an indicator light of your purpose. When you find those things, give yourself to them. Give yourself to them in full intent, right? I know that I'm a lifter of people. I'm a hope dealer. I wanna show people the greatness that's on the inside of them. But you know what? I didn't just start doing that today and a few weeks ago and last year and a couple years ago. I've been doing it my entire life. My entire life, I've been an encourager and a lifter of people. I see people. I see them where they're at, and I see them where I see all of them packed in all their potential. I see it. And I've always been one that pulls people out and says, I see this greatness in you. I see it in you. I see it in you. And I've always been one that, like, hey, you don't have to live in this realm of restriction. You don't have to live with these limitations. Because the pain point was I hated the limitation I saw my grandma live in. I hated the lack and the limitation and the struggle that I saw. And I knew that there was a better way. And I see that so many times in our human condition. And I'm like, man, God's a chain breaker. He's got a promise of good things for us. And so when I see it and I know that the Bible says ask largely. Ask largely, ask largely. A small life, a small restrictive, that's not what we're meant to live in. God is a big God. Ask largely. So if you're on this earth to make an impact, and I know you are, because you wouldn't be listening to this if you weren't on the pursuit of it. Ask largely. Ask God to show you. Ask God to expand your influence. But just think, define your purpose. Just get really locked into it. Write it down. What do I like to do naturally? What gives me great enthusiasm and it energizes me? And what pains me? What hurts me? What breaks my heart? That is what I'm called to do on this earth. So I want you to know this. I'm your cheerleader. I'm your cheerleader of dreams. I believe in you. God has greatness on the inside of you. Go be an expression and be the most potent you on this earth that you can be. And as always, know this, you are more.